Yes. Are you ready? Yeah, yeah. I have everybody's.
Right. So you see where,
Mm-hmm.
see my
Is it already
name?
recorded?
Right.
Uh-huh.
Right. Put my name.
Right click your name. Right here. I will. Uh-huh.
Oh, see, a lot of people are coming in now. Let everybody in first.
And you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is your name? Okay, right click. It's right.
And where it says more? See where it says more?
Uh-huh.
Make co-host.
Make of I thank you.
What does it say?
Yeah, did you want to make Bernard your co-host? Is we meeting? Yes. Is okay?
Yeah, that means now I can control people.
Hi, perfect. Yeah.
I can
Okay.
let people in if you want to concentrate on something else. If I hear people trying to come in.
So let's start, no? Let's start.
Now, I would give it a few more minutes. It's only 6 o'clock.
Welcome, parents and students and staff. We are going to give a couple of minutes for, we have several people in the waiting room. Thank you so much for being here tonight for this important presentation.
Mm.
Good evening, parents. Welcome to Robert Morgan Educational Center Parent Workshop. Tonight we have this very important presentation about college options and community hours and more, because it's gonna be a lot of information for you parents, students and staff. Ms. Marshall, Ms. Tina Marshall, our CAP advisor, is gonna be our important host tonight. That she has a lot of information to share with all of you. Let's start by, if you look at the chat, please fill out the form that is going to register you into this important workshop. The form is very simple. You just have to put your name and the student name and the grade, and that is going to help you to get registered into this workshop. Thank you, and Ms. Tina, Ms. Marshall, um, go ahead.
Okay, good evening, parents and students, and even staff that may be in our presentation on this evening. So I will be doing a brief overview of the CAP program. In addition, you are going to receive some information from our CTE program, which is our Career and Technical Education program. And then you're also going to receive some information from one of our partnered organizations, with regards to service, leadership, and even some community service opportunities, in addition to what I am going to be presenting on this evening as well. As you can see on the cover page, you do have my email, my contact information, school phone, my Instagram. You're welcome to join the Cap Corner Instagram as well as the Cap Corner YouTube page. So we're going to go ahead and get started this evening with our presentation. Any questions that you may have, I do ask that you hold your questions to the end of the entire presentation. So first things first, what is the CAP program? The CAP program is the College Assistance Program. And so basically the goal of this program is to ensure that all of our students are being assisted with their post-secondary planning. Post-secondary planning can be college options. It can also be military alternatives, as well as students who are wanting to go into the workforce. And so the goal is to ensure that everyone has a plan for when they do graduate from high school. So again, just a few minutes ago, I mentioned college options. So students are looking at different program options depending upon the magnet programs that they may be a part of right now, or they're just thinking about going into different fields. So depending upon their career choices or the career fields that they're looking into, some students may choose a 2-year certification program. So we talk about the schools that offer those types of options, such as your cosmetology programs, your automotive programs, your appliances. Some of your computer programs also offer 2-year certifications, and even the medical programs, medical assisting, certified medical assistants, the LPN program, etc. So it really depends on what your child or your student is looking for. In addition to the 2-year options, students also have the choice of looking at 4-year colleges and universities where they're wanting to get a bachelor's degree, whether it is ultimately in education, engineering, business, sports management, sports medicine, etc. And then lastly, the military options. There are students that we do have that do not believe that college is an option for them, but they do want to explore the military. So I'm also there to assist them with the different branches and what each of those branches offer to them that will fit them. And then we do have a small population that are thinking about going into the workforce once they complete high school. So ultimately, the task as the CAP advisor is to help the students explore the different options that they are looking at and then come to the best option that will work for them upon graduation. So some of the services that are offered to the students, um, classroom presentations. Thus far this year, we have done all of our classroom presentations throughout our senior classes. We are continuing to plan to do our classroom presentations with our 9th through 11th grade students. However, we do have a lot of 9th, 10th, and 11th grade students that do reach out to me, as well as the other counselors, asking questions about college, asking questions about testing, even asking questions about courses that they should be taking, especially now since we're in the beginning of subject selection for the next school year. A lot of our students are looking at their college and course options. Now, normally, if we were not in a pandemic situation, we would have had a in-person college fair, and we would be in the process of planning our in-person career fair. However, in lieu of those in-person options, the district, as well as RMEC, did host various college virtual presentations to the students, and then also throughout the district. Hopefully, when we do return to the building, more so full time, we will be able to resume offering college and career fairs for any and everyone to attend. In addition, hosting FAFSA nights. We did offer quite a few virtual FAFSA nights with representatives from Miami-Dade College, with representatives from University of Miami that spoke about the process of completing your FAFSA application and any assistance that families will need when going through that process. In addition to services, again, being offered by the CAP program, assistance with ACT and SAT tests. I am the SAT weekend coordinator. So if your child was to have registered to take an SAT test on the weekend, or have done so, they most likely have seen me because I am the coordinator. The ACT coordinator is Ms. Radcliffe, which is one of our other academy counselors. However, if the students need testing waivers, they do speak with me with regards to how to get a waiver if they meet criteria. Also, if students need registration with SAT or ACT tests within the College Board or the ACT platforms, they can speak with myself and or Ms. Radcliffe. One of the other things that's a big portion of the CAP program is scholarships. Scholarships are constantly coming out and being offered to the students. I encourage the students that as they see the scholarship bulletins in their emails, as they see the scholarship bulletins uploaded to their SCORE accounts, to really go through the bulletin. I know a lot of times because the bulletin is lengthy, and it continues to get lengthy as we receive more and more scholarship opportunities. There are scholarships that are available for ninth grade students. There are scholarships that are available for 10th, 11th, as well as seniors. I know a lot of our students think that they have to wait until their senior year to wait to apply for scholarships, but that's not necessarily true. So sometimes it really just takes the time to go through that 40-page bulletin. And yes, absolutely, it is about 40 pages of nothing but scholarships. Scholarships based upon student race and ethnicity, based upon what students want to major in when they go to college, based upon GPA, test scores, whether or not a student has a disability or an illness, or students like to write poetry. There are so many different scholarships out there. And I just believe that there is a scholarship, or there's a few scholarships for every student to apply to as much as they can to offset the cost of college or the cost of college. So another aspect of the CAP program, especially this year, the Miami-Dade County Public Schools, the district has rolled out a platform titled SCORE. The kids have been hearing a lot. We've been pushing a lot for the kids to register their accounts with SCORE. So SCORE is basically a platform that we're using for that ultimate all things college search, which is what we call it. And the reason that it is called that is because it is a platform that is used just for that. The students are able to search colleges that they're interested in, follow those colleges. They're able to get all of the college details necessary to decide whether or not they want to apply to that college. They will get details such as if that college needs test scores and what's the average test score. They will also receive the minimum or the maximum acceptance rates. If they need letters of recommendations, if they're needing to do any types of auditions. And those are really for majors that are in your visual and your performing arts sectors. However, they're also able to compare colleges, comparing colleges as far as location, as far as what the college offers, the programs that they may be interested in. They're also able to ask based upon preferences. They're able to get a list of all of the colleges really within the United States that offer exactly what a student is looking for. We have students that are looking to go outside of the state of Florida. We have students that are looking for small colleges, large colleges, all girls colleges, all boys colleges, specifically Division I, Division II schools. So the students are able to do a preference search based upon what they want and what they don't want. And so that score platform is used for all of that. They're able to do virtual tours with the colleges. A lot of the colleges, because of the situation, because of the pandemic that we are still doing virtual tours. You can sign up with colleges to complete virtual tours right through SCORE. So there's so much that SCORE has to offer. Our entire Robert Morgan Educational Center, teachers, administrators, counselors are connected with SCORE. We do ask the students as well as the teachers to communicate with each other through SCORE. The students, when they need their letters of recommendations, they can request it through SCORE. They can request their fee waivers, and not the fee waivers for lunch, but fee waivers for college applications. Because we all know that applying to college, there is an application fee, and application fees can get expensive. Application fees are anywhere from 25 to 75, even upwards of $100 for applying to a specific school. So college application fee waivers can certainly help with that. So I do encourage the parents that are on the line this evening to open up a SCORE account. You can connect your account with your child's account. You're able to see everything that's happening within their SCORE account. Every single document, file, that is uploaded, whether it's coming from myself as the CAP advisor, advertising a virtual presentation, or I'm uploading scholarships. All of that information you're able to see as well as your student to try to keep up with what's happening within the counseling world, because some of our counselors do upload documents and information to SCORE as well. But then you're also kind of able to keep up with what's happening on the CAP side as well. So one of the things that I put separately or listed separately here was the application options. So one of the things that the students, when they're looking at and searching the different colleges that they're interested in, each of the colleges will also take the time to discuss application options. How would they need to apply? How should they apply? Are they applying early action? What does early action mean? Early action usually means a student is applying to a school that's their number one choice. As a matter of fact, early action and early decision are kind of the same thing, but there is a difference between the two. And I'll talk about that in a second. But most students apply early action or early decision to schools that are like their top three choices, the schools that they absolutely have to get into. And so how I explain it to students, early action, those might be the schools that you want to apply to, that for sure, if they give you and offer you a seat, you're going to take it hands down. However, the difference between early decision is a binding contract. So what that means is at the time where you will apply to a school or want to apply to a school, early decision, there is a contract that has to be signed by the student, by the parent, and then also has to be collectively signed with the counselor, because you do have to understand what that school's policy is with regards to early decision. If you decide to accept that school under the early decision contract, you cannot rescind that admission without the consequences or the penalty of breaking that contract. So it's very important that when the students, when the parents, when you're helping your children look at colleges, really think about how you want to apply, whether it's early action, early decision. In addition, early action and early decision applications usually open very early. A lot of them open up as early as August 1st. Their deadlines for applications are very early as well. A lot of times you have to have applied to those schools as late as September 1st, maybe September 15th, some as late as October 1st. And then once a decision is made, decisions are actually sent out to the students early. So a lot of early action and early decisions are made to accept students between November and December. Regular decision, the application process is usually a little later, maybe January, February, maybe March for a deadline. And then some colleges even offer a rolling admissions, which means they will continue to take applications until they have accepted all of their students. So again, I do encourage everyone to have a score account, to utilize that score account. The more you utilize it, the more you will see the benefits of how it will help you throughout this process. And in addition, it also helps myself as the CAP advisor and even your counselors have these college conversations with you, because it will help us to, if we have to make suggestions of colleges, it will help us to see what you may or may not be interested in, etc. Okay. So, if a parent that's on here this evening would like to open up a score account, please, I encourage you to speak with your student. Your student can directly invite you to open up a score account from their own account. However, if they don't, feel free to send me an email and I can assist you with that process. So, one of the things that I also want to mention is this year, because of having to be creative with getting information out and still helping students with this whole college process, because I do realize that we do have a lot of students who are attending school MSO. And so it has been a little difficult to get information out to prepare students for the next step as much as we would like. So, what we are continuing to offer, or what I'm continuing to offer this half of the school year, is what's called the Roadmap to College and Career series. Myself, with our CTE program facilitator, Dr. Ferguson, are offering these sessions for all of our students, not just our seniors, but also for our freshmen, our sophomore, and our juniors, because I do believe that the earlier the students begin thinking about their futures and thinking about their careers, by the time they do get to their senior year, not that it makes the situation easier, but they already have some foreknowledge of things to expect that they should be doing. So, as of last week, we did begin with our first session on testing smarter with ACT and SAT. We did have an awesome presenter for that. We used a company called Test Smart, which is a company that does partner with Miami-Dade County Public Schools to helping to tutor students for the ACT and the SAT test. For the next few sessions, as you see, we have college and career at a glance. Myself and Dr. Ferguson will be personally presenting in that presentation, looking at colleges overall and what you need as far as that process is concerned. And then also exploring careers. How do you go about exploring what you want to do, either before or while you are looking at colleges? We also have a session on how to find the right college. That session is going to be very detailed. So you don't want to miss it. How to write a glowing personal statement, as a part of the application process, every student is expected to write a personal statement. So those two sessions will basically go through what you need and what is expected within your personal statement when you are applying to college. And then lastly, we will have a session on letters of recommendations. Letters of recommendations are also a part of the college application process. Some schools require only one letter of recommendation, whether it's from a teacher or a counselor. Some colleges or universities ask for two, some ask for three. It just really depends upon where you are applying for college. So we're going to talk about how to ask for letters of recommendation, what information should go in those letters of recommendations, but also more importantly, teaching the kids how to know their worth, how to know, who they are prior to even asking for a letter of recommendation, to be able to assist that individual, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a counselor, or whether it's someone outside of the school, how to write that phenomenal letter of recommendation that stands out among the rest. So with that being said, I'm going to actually take a little break here and I'm going to allow Dr. Ferguson to speak. So she can give you a brief introduction of our CTE program as well and how her and I will be continuing to work together for the students.
Thank you, Ms. Marshall. Before Ms. Ferguson can get into her presentation, we
Okay.
also have tonight with us here our own Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, the floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. I'd like to thank everyone for attending. We do have quite a few participants, 36. I do appreciate everyone taking the time out of their schedule. It is 6 o'clock. We've all experienced Zoom fatigue by now, but the fact that you're here at this time of night, it says a lot, and I just hope you take away a lot of information before we exit, and it's been really, really helpful to you, but I'm sure it will, because what you do now affects you essentially for the rest of your life. So it's not just about college, it's everything that comes after that. And there's a lot of years after college, if no one has told you already. But before we go on to Ms. Ferguson, also just like to remind everyone to please fill out the small survey. It's about 3 to 4 entry points, name, ID, etc., so we can have a record of who attended. And now, back to my host.
Okay, so good afternoon or good evening, everybody. It's my pleasure to be here to represent our career side at Robert Morgan Educational Center. My name is Dr. Ferguson. I am the CTE facilitator. CTE stands for Career and Technical Education. It is the career side of basically your child's program. Is it possible for me to share my
Yeah.
screen? Okay,
Yeah. Let me stop sharing.
okay, no problem.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so I always have to play around with moving everybody around, so just bear with me a second. Okay, so as I said, CTE stands for Career and Technical Education. I do focus on the, is it, I don't know what's happening. Let's see. Okay, as I said, I am a CTE facilitator. My purpose is to help students connect to their education to a career. I've been working with a lot of students over the last few weeks or a couple of months since we were able to implement this program. I've been able to help them identify their career paths, the students who participate or come to see me to come up with goals and things they would like to do prior to leaving Robert Morgan and post-secondary. I help them to make plans to achieve their goals and to provide helpful resources. So we have a few activities that we do on a weekly basis. Every Monday night, unless there's a holiday or we have something special at the school, I have what's called Blazing the Trails. So here is where we get together in a peer learning community, and students work together to discuss things that they maybe can't necessarily discuss during class as it pertains to their career. Um, a lot of students want to go to college. They want to do a lot of things post-secondary, but they really don't know what they want to focus on. Even though they're in academies, sometimes they don't really know how to take what they're doing in their academies and apply it to their post-secondary options. So this is where Miss Marshall and I work hand in hand. I spend time with them. It's an hour from 3:30 to 4:30 every Monday, and we meet with a group of their peers and we talk about, just different things that they need to do in order to discover their passion, figure out what it is that they want to do. Some of the things that we have covered in Blazing the Trails include interest inventory, time management, goal setting, and even vision boards. So when we first started with the vision boards, I know people thought, wow, how's that going to help me? But when we talked about how putting together or putting a visual of what it is that you want in your future, um, and taking your time to scroll through images or just to think about and plan what it is that you want, that they took time to carefully pick it out, talk about why they wanted these things and what did they think would be needed in order or necessary for them to do to achieve their goals or their dreams. So from the pictures in the vision board, they were able to set realistic goals on how to achieve those things and timelines. And they realized that they had to really put forth the effort and have a purpose, have a goal, work towards their goal. And it just wasn't going to happen just because they wanted it to, or it's just on the board. It's more than just placing it on the board. It's making a plan, sticking with it, setting your goals. So that's the type of things that we do in Blazing the Trail. Another thing that we do is Chat It Up Tuesdays. It's not every Tuesday right now because I really want it to be meaningful. And I bring out guest speakers who can speak on a topic that is relevant to what the students want to hear. Maybe it's relevant to their academy. Maybe it's relevant to something that they've shared with me or we've learned through Blazing the Trail that they can that can help them. So I take my time, we discuss different things, and I try to find someone to meet the needs of the students based on their experiences. They come out and they share with the students. It's an informal setting, so they get to sit and ask the questions. And a lot of them are very shy, so they may not ask the questions during the meeting time. However, many of them may stay on and wait their turn to ask their personal question, so they don't feel like they're being put on the spot. So I found this to be very helpful, and the students have shared with me how much they've learned. They get leads on internships. A lot of speakers connect them with people who are of interest or in their field, and they find that they can get their questions answered without feeling stressed. So I really enjoy Chat It Up Tuesdays because we really have a good time. And if your child hasn't experienced it, those are the two activities I would like to personally invite them out to. And also parents can join too to see what we're doing. I'm sure you'll find that it is beneficial. Okay, and this one Pick Your Niche. Yes, I like to name name my little activities because it helped me to keep things in focus. But this is more on a personal level, and I do have students who take advantage of this. This is where they contact me, email me, and let me know that they would like to have a one-on-one conversation with me about something as it relates to their career. So it's basically career counseling, where they talk about their own personal education, their vision, their skills, their interests, values, and goals. And they don't have to feel intimidated because other people are listening. And like I said, it's just something very personal. And I help them to develop their their speech or whatever they want to be able to convey their feelings and thoughts whenever they're ready to talk to their parents or maybe a counselor or just to their peers. Okay. So also, like Miss Marshall, I do have access to some scholarships and also internships and mentoring opportunities for the students. And a couple of the things that we have going on, we've been able to connect with the School to Work program where they are going to have mentors who are high leveled, skilled people, and they share their experiences with the students. They mentor them. And if you're not familiar with the mentoring process, which I'm sure most of you are, but it can get to be very expensive. And in this opportunity, they get to, you know, work with someone closely, high executives, and be mentored by these prominent people in the community. The people are, vetted through the Big Brothers Big Sisters, and we know that this is a safe, environment for them. Right now, everything is done virtually once a month for them, with them and their mentor. However, when school opens up, they will have the opportunity to go to their place of employment and shadow the mentor that they have, which I think is very exciting. They get to do it once a month, for a full day, and then they come back to school. Another thing we have is My Career Shines, which is a career planning uh, program online. We've had someone from the state come out and train the students. We were able to do that. And we have another session coming up with the state again in reference to My Career Shine on March 8th. So the students were able to go in and use the tool to explore their options, learn what things that they like through interest inventories. They got to explore the different uh, careers that are there, everything from how much you can earn, the average earning, how much college you need to have, just various topics as it relates to career and college. So we found that to be very helpful. We were able to come back to one of our peer learning activity meetings, and the students were able to work on My Career Shines, and we learned a lot together based on the information we received during that training. Okay, so just to let you know the services I offer: post-secondary career planning, mentoring, internships, connection to business and industry, and also helping students develop a plan, a career plan. This is my contact information. I can be reached at mferguson@dayschools.net, or feel free to call the school and they will be happy to connect you with me. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Ferguson, and your information on our CTE program. Um, we definitely hope that the parents and the students take advantage of both the CAP and the CTE program. So now we're going to just switch gears a little bit and talk about community service. Dr. Ferguson, if you want to stop sharing. All right, give me 1 second. All right, so let me go back and continue to share to get through the remainder of our program. Okay, so now we have spoken about the roadmap to series, college and career series, now community service hours. So we do all know that the students are expected to have at least a minimum of 100 community service hours by the time of graduation. The 100 community service hours is required for students who will be applying to Bright Futures, and then also students who are applying for scholarship applications. A lot of the times, in addition to the essay that the students have to write for that scholarship organization, the students do also have to list and sometimes write about their different service organizations, activities, opportunities that they were a part of. And so I know, again, within this pandemic, it is hard to find face-to-face community service opportunities, such as your hospitals, your parks, your churches, museums. But we also have been encouraging the students to take advantage of our different virtual opportunities. I listed a few virtual opportunities there, and these are virtual programs that have been approved by Miami-Dade County Public Schools that students can get themselves involved in to get the hours needed. In addition, both Dr. Ferguson and I, through our virtual presentations and activities that we have with the students, we also offer the students the opportunity for community service hours. If they attend, they do get the number of hours that we do offer. So it is still possible for the students to receive community service. I know there are opportunities virtually where students can make donations to different charities that pertain to their magnets, veterinary medicine, where other organizations are also offering community service hours. So the opportunities are there. If the students, if you as the parents are unable and need some assistance with finding opportunities, we are more than welcome or more than available to assist you with that. But I do encourage you to look into at least the 4 websites that I do have listed here. So now I'm actually going to turn it over to one of our partnered organizations, Achieve Club. Achieve Club is a leadership and a service club that is available to our students. So in addition to us working with our students, in addition to the CTE program, working with our school to work program, we're also wanting to continue to work within the community. So Achieve Club is a community organization that once again offers leadership and does offer service. So for the next few minutes, we're going to turn it over to our Achieve Club to tell you or give you some information about them.
Thank you so much, Ms. Marshall. I'll share my screen if that's okay.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much, Ms. Pardo, Dr. Ferguson, and Mr. Johnson for having us, and all of you too for taking a listen. I know it is 6 p.m. plus, and we're all really tired, so I'm going to try to be as speedy and efficient as possible for all of you. Let me just present real quick. All right, you all can see that, right? Yes. So, as Ms. Marshall was describing, the Achieve Club, we're a partner organization of you all's. What we do is broadly extend educational opportunities to students in elementary school and in high school. So for the high school students, that looks like providing 3 things mainly: service opportunities, leadership opportunities, and college readiness opportunities. I'm primarily here to talk to you about our college readiness opportunities, one of them being the Achieve Scholars Program. This is well, I will go on to describe it, excuse me. This is a program that provides college readiness support, intensive college readiness support to seniors throughout Miami-Dade County, including including at our MDCPS schools, magnet schools, et cetera, et cetera. I'll talk more about what students what kind of students we're looking for in a moment. This year, we're only accepting 100 students total to this particular program, but this doesn't necessarily mean that if your student isn't accepted into this program, that they can't be part of Achieve's happenings and goings and workshops and all of that jazz. You can definitely still be involved through the Achieve Club, which is what all of the high school students, regardless of what they're involved in, are considered. Everyone is an Achieve Club member. The membership is totally free. This program is totally free. And that's just how we classify our interaction with students. I'm also realizing that I didn't properly introduce myself. So my name's Jess. I know it says Achieve Miami on here, but my name is Jess. I'm the manager of high school programs here at Achieve. Rob, who was going to be joining us, unfortunately had some dental work today that he's having issues with now. And he's like, Jess, my mouth is numb. I cannot even do this. So that is why you're just seeing me. So I will be doing my best throughout this. I'm also seeing some familiar faces and some familiar names in here from the students who attended our presentation yesterday. So hi, hello, you're hearing this info again. And if you haven't applied, I hope you do so. So this is what the Scholars Program is. It is specifically for rising seniors. So if your child is a rising senior, this is the program for them. What kind of services do we provide? We provide a whole array of college readiness services. So this includes college and scholarship essay help. We help the students who are in this program complete the FAFSA. We help them organize their financial service documentation and get ready for that. ACT and SAT tutoring. Again, we offer community service opportunities through the Achieve Club, workshops and a variety of college readiness topics. In fact, we're hosting one coming up on the 3rd of March about getting the most out of your college experience. So that's about tapping into extracurricular activities and other opportunities that you may or may not know exist on your future college's campus. And that's applicable to students of any age or any grade level. The other thing that I'll mention here is we also provide recommendation letters. As your student, if they're accepted to this program, goes through the process of applying to college, getting their college readiness journey all together and moving along through our scholars program, they're getting to know us too, and we're getting to know them. And so the perk about this is that you have recommendation letters outside of your school. Some, like Ms. Marshall was saying, some opportunities require that you have other types of recommendations, not just academic. So those are just a sneak peek preview of the things that we provide through this program that pertain to college readiness. I'm seeing a lot of things pop up in the chat. Ms. Marshall, please feel free to interrupt me if someone has a relevant question that I should.
Yes, I am answering the chat as you are speaking.
Okay. Let me know if I need to pause.
I'm not for sure, Jessica, if you do speak Spanish. There is someone that's asking if you could also translate in Spanish.
I don't, but if that person has information, or if I could get that person's contact information, we can follow up with them with some more resources, and we'll make sure that they get the information and it's accessible. Yeah.
Okay. All right. No problem.
Jessie and Miss Marshall, I'm sorry the interruption. Para los padres que hablan español esta noche, bienvenidos. Muchísimas gracias por estar acá. Vamos a suministrarles toda la información en español de esta presentación tan importante. Por favor, déjenme su nombre acá en el chat y también llenen la forma que les estoy pasando para poderles enviar por email estas importantes presentaciones. Muchas gracias. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Ms. Marshall.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Pardo. I appreciate that. So as I was mentioning about them getting to know us, your students getting to know us and us getting to know them, we have Achieve Success coaches. These are experts in college readiness who are, they're teachers, they are community leaders. One of our Achieve Success coaches is an elected official in her jurisdiction. Like, they're fantastic people. And they provide the one-on-one support and advising to each student. So each student is paired up with an Achieve Success coach who helps them all the way through. They check in with them twice a week. They do academic audits, which are like an audit of what you got going on. So how's your GPA doing? Do you have any outstanding fees that you need to provide your school before you can graduate? Even the nitty gritty things like that, they stay on top of and help your students stay on top of as well. And they help ensure that you come to the workshops that you need to come to. So once the student is accepted this year, we're hoping to finish our application process by mid-April. So once, say, a student is accepted to the program, when do they start? They start this summer. And this summer is going to be really cool and really fun, and we're really excited about it because not only are we providing community service hours, so students will be earning hours as they go through this, we're also offering it through the lens of a paid summer internship. It will be inclusive of a 6-week SAT boot camp, and that will be in prep for the August 28th test. This is really critical because a lot of seniors go into their senior year with, regardless of what they want to do, whether they want to go to a 4-year college, a 2-year college, a technical school, they go into their senior year saying, oh crap, I haven't taken a standardized test. I am so behind. How am I going to keep up with courses? How am I going to study? How am I going to blah, blah, blah. You're already more than halfway done through this program. So once August 28th rolls around, your student is like, yes, got it. 1 score down. If I need to take it again, I can take it again. So we make sure that you're prepped and ready to go. You get full participation in the 2021 Achieve Summer Program. Like I said, this is where the service comes in. We continue to host college readiness workshops throughout this summer. We're going to have our scholars lead enrichment activities for little buddies and actually serve as leaders for their own peers at schools throughout Miami-Dade County. And there will be an end of summer college tour that's in state, TBD on where it is, also TBD because of COVID related logistics that we have to be aware of, but we do intend to have an end of the summer college tour. And also they'll get to know their peer scholars. They'll get to bond with each other. They'll get to chat with each other. They'll get to know one another. This is a very communal and social program as well. I do want to take a moment to boast. Rob and I are very, very, very proud of our scholars from this year and what they've accomplished so far. This is just so far. College acceptance letters are still coming in. We are still seeing scholarship dollars coming in, but overall our scholars through this year's program have been awarded $2.09 million in scholarships. I will be totally transparent with you all. Before I started working here, Rob was like, oh, we'll definitely surpass $1 million in scholarship funds for these scholars that we take on. And I said, you've got to be kidding me. No way. That's so, that's really large. Clearly, I was very wrong. So yes, that is an accurate number. That is actually what our students have earned in scholarship funds. And we're really excited about that. They've been accepted to 73 colleges. Their GPA is stellar. We're just really excited about it. And we're excited for our success coaches too, because they played a role in making sure that this happened too. So this program does yield results. And now if we've done our job correctly, or if I've done my job correctly and I've presented to all of you and in the best way possible, you might be wondering, okay, when can my kid apply? Your child can apply at any time starting now. The application opened in January, on January 27th. Again, this is for rising seniors, so current juniors. If your student is not a current junior and you're really interested in this program, don't worry about it. It's not going anywhere. They can always get involved with Achieve Miami as a club member, and that will actually like boost their candidacy for Achieve Scholars Program in the future. But we're looking at students from all over the place. So if they're not involved in Achieve Miami right now, don't worry about that. That's not like counting against them. So there are 2 application due dates that we have going on here. We have March 8th, which is the priority deadline, and we have April 1st, which is the final deadline. March 8th is the one we want you all to go away from. You leave this presentation knowing March 8th, March 8th, March 8th, March 8th. The reason that I repeat that is because the students who apply by March 8th, we're looking at their applications first, and we're only accepting 100 students. We already have over 100 applications. So this is definitely something that you want to hop on sooner rather than later. We'll be interviewing scholar applications or applicants starting March 15th and doing that through April 9th. And then again, like I said earlier, we will be accepting scholars on April 14th. And that's when you should know whether or not, your child is accepted into the program. And with that said, I mentioned earlier that we do have a selection criteria. So what are we looking for? We're looking for rising seniors, current juniors, couldn't say that enough. Students who would be first generation college students, or students who have only had maybe one parent go to college or get a post-secondary education. We're also looking for students with academic need, whether that's grades or their standardized test scores, students who would benefit greatly from financial aid, and most importantly, students who demonstrate a commitment to the college readiness process. If you're a student on this call and you're thinking, I don't have good grades, this might not be the best, I have no shot at getting in this program. Like, no, this is the program where you should be applying to. It's really easy to get kids into college if, like everything is working out, but we know that there are a complex array of needs, a complex array of interests, and a complex array of factors that contribute to whether or not someone is ready for college. And we're here to even all of that out, calm all the waters, and make sure your child has the best possible opportunity to get a post-secondary education that will benefit them. So how can you help? How can you help as a parent, as a guardian, as a family member, as a supporter and encourager? March 8th, did I say that date already? I totally did. Make sure that they apply by the priority deadline and submit an application. I'll show you what the application looks like in a moment. It's very straightforward. Again, our final deadline is April 1st. You are so welcome to attend our college readiness workshops offered by Achieve Miami. These are open to everyone in our Achieve community, including our scholars. And we host several on financial literacy. We host several on scholarship opportunities. Feel free to supplement anything that you're getting from Ms. Marshall, Dr. Ferguson, and all that stuff with, a workshop here and there from us. Take a peek. You can follow us on Instagram. It's at Achieve High Schools, and we always have updates there. Whenever we have a workshop, we post about it. Whenever we have an opportunity for your student to earn service hours by attending a food distribution event, we post that there. By the way, students who attend food distribution events get service hours, and they have the option of taking food home for their families if they want to. You could join our parent advisory board, which is coming soon. So I'll save that and table it for later. And as Ms. Marshall was describing, ask your students about where they are in their college readiness process. Ask them what are you thinking about? Get an idea of where they're at, because just sometimes that reminder is enough to keep them going. And of course, if you have any questions or concerns or thoughts, or if you need any of these materials in a different language, please reach out to us. I'll put my email in the chat so that you can email me at any time. I can read Spanish fairly well, but I'm just not good at communicating in Spanish. So feel free to reach out to me. And I will leave us here on this link. There are two links here. One is for you all, Mr. Johnson, Ms. Pardo, Ms. Marshall, Dr. Ferguson. This is to refer students to the program. So if you're thinking, ooh, so-and-so would be really great for this, submit a referral form. Let us know why they're so great. We will definitely consider that in their application, application profile. For you parents and guardians and family members and students, this is the application link that you want to concern yourself with. It is the application itself. You can also scan the QR code. I stopped screen sharing so that I could show you what this application looks like really quick. When you click on this link, it'll take you to a form that looks like this. It says Achieve Scholars 2021-2022. As you can see, we're not really asking for a whole ton of information. We want to get to know your student through their words and through their interview. So we're just asking for the basic contact info, their school and their grade level, some parent contact info, and then simply, why do you want to join the Achieve Scholars program? That's literally it. Shouldn't rush through this, but it's very straightforward. Very straightforward and easy to fill out. So I'm going to actually put this in the chat for you all. Wow, there's a lot going on in the chat. Okay. Great. So that's the Achieve Scholars application. And I'll leave this here. I'll also put my email address. In the meantime, that is all I have in terms of slides, but if anybody does have any questions, I want to say go for it. I'm also looking at the time, 7 p.m., and I'm on someone else's clock. So, Ms. Marshall, what are you thinking?
Oh, thank you so much, Jessica, for that presentation. Parents, students, we do encourage you to reach out, to apply, and to be a part of the program. So I know we're at 7 o'clock, but we will take any questions and or comments that students or parents may have while they are on the line this evening. So feel free to unmute yourself and ask your questions. Okay, so it looks like everybody is tired by this time. No questions, no comments. I totally understand. You have our information, myself, the school's information, Dr. Ferguson, Achieve Club, even Mr. Johnson and Ms. Pardo, you have their information as well. So at any time, feel free to reach out to us via email, via the school phone. Please join our Instagrams, Achieve Schools, Cap Corner Instagram, even join Robert Morgan Pirates Instagram as well, because a lot of information is filtered through social media, as well as through SCORE and as well as through our student emails. So if we don't have any questions on this evening, I do want to thank everyone for joining us. And I will turn it now back over to Ms. Pardo and Mr. Johnson to close us out for the evening.
Thank you, Ms. Marshall. What a important presentation. Thank you so much for all this information that you shared with us, with the parents and the students. Thank you, Dr. Ferguson. Thank you, Jennifer, for all your knowledge and the fabulous presentation that you have. I'm pretty sure that you're going to have a lot of questions from the parents, and I'm going to make sure that all the parents that speak Spanish this evening and were here or what they were here, they are gonna get the information as well. Okay. I would like to say, as our alma mater said, my parents, Gator, lift your voice. We are here for you, for the students. I know we have a lot of students tonight here. And as a CIS, Community Involvement Specialist here at Robert Morgan, one of my personal mission is to get the parents involved in the educational progress and programs of the students. I think that this tonight, comply with all one of my personal wishes that I have. That is for the parents to get to know the process of the college, especially because I have parents from 9th graders, 10th graders that approach me asking me questions about it. So I think that it's important that we start involving the parents in all this process. And for you parents to get to know Miss Marshall, Dr. Ferguson, and important people also involved in this process as Jennifer from Achieve Miami. So thank you so much. I think that tonight has been a wonderful night, a lot of information that we can share with another parents and students. And once again, thank you for all the presenters, okay? And now I pass the floor to Mr. Johnson.
I'd just like to echo both Ms. Marshall, Ms. Dr. Ferguson, and Ms. Pardo. I'd like to thank all, and Achieve Miami. I just see your name. That I forgot your name. I just see the company. But I'd like to thank all of my hosts for this event. Also like to thank all of obviously the students and the parents who attended. I really hope all the information you received on here is very helpful. It's a very competitive environment. It does not get easier. It gets harder every year. And so you really need to dig deep and turn over every stone when it comes to scholarships and college opportunities. And I know we have a problem here. One problem we do have, and I don't think it's isolated to Robert Morgan, is that when it comes to scholarships, students might think in terms of home runs, knock it out the park, all or nothing, but you'll never, ever hit a fastball, a curveball, a slider, any kind of pitch if you don't learn to bat first. And you learn to bat by applying for the small grants, 500 here, 1,000 here, 15, 25, then the big scholarship may or may not come, but to sit and wait for that perfect pitch so you can knock out a home run without ever practicing how to bat, nah, never gonna happen. So please take advantage of all the information presented tonight, and good luck with your college future and career. And that's it for me. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Wonderful presentation as always, Ms. Marshall and the others.
Thank you, Jeremy.
I'll definitely check out the Achieve Miami.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Hope you do.
Oh, by the way, and the Coolidge Scholarship application was success.
Okay, awesome. I'm glad that went through well for you. All right, Jeremy. See you later.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Jessica, we'll be in touch. Thank you, Ms. Pardo, once again.
Ms. Marshall, thank you. Dr. Ferguson, thank you, okay?
No, thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
No, always. Thank you.
Have a good night.